Hey guys, welcome back to another gaming review video, and today we're going to be giving my impressions and my thoughts on the Soulmask survival game that just entered 1.0 recently. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, comment if you enjoy this game or if you're thinking of picking it up or anything about Soulmask. But with that being said, let's get into my thoughts. So we've only put about 1.5 streams into it, so we've put about at least 10 plus hours into it so far. So it's not going to be a crazy review just because we have Winrose soon. So I had to get this out quickly. So bear in mind, I'm only going to be really talking about the first couple of hours of my play session, what I think is good, what is bad, and all that good stuff. But start off with, for me, it was a very slow start. The first like 2 to 3 hours, I wasn't too sure on this game just because of I'm not really into Ark Survival, and it did kind of feel very Ark Survival-esque to me. And the more I played, and the more it started to feel more like Conan Exiles too, which I do like Conan Exiles. So now that we've played a lot of it, I am definitely enjoying it a lot more. But in the early goings, it was a little bit rough to think if I was gonna like this or not, but I'm getting into it. So I think this is a game where it's like a survival game where the early part of the game it's gonna be very hard to understand it. You have to learn a lot of things. There's a lot of stuff you have to craft, lots of resources you have to manage. Like there's a lot. It gave me a headache of how much stuff there was in this game, and you had to do. So the one thing that's different from this game compared to other games is kind of the tribe system. I know Windrose, you can have workers in Windrose too, but in this game, you have to capture them. So in Windrose, it's just quest lines, I believe, based on the demo and whatnot. But with this game, you can capture any tribe member. So if you see any human in the world, you can capture them and turn them into a tribe member. And I like that because you can set them to work on anything. There is a lot of workbenches in this game, like there is a lot. So you can set tribe members to craft stuff for you. You can even make tribe members build buildings and things like that for you. So a lot of the stuff you usually have to do on your own, you won't have to do once you start getting a lot of tribe members together. It was very confusing at first, I will be honest. It was very confusing how I had to actually obtain new tribe members because you had to hold E on them when it told you to do so when you were doing damage. So usually about half to a quarter of their HP. So you can hold E to kind of knock them out. And then what you do is you have to carry them back to your base, or you can recruit them and then you have to deploy them. And then if you deploy them, they will follow you around. So you can just go back to your base and they'll follow you back to the base. And you have to undeploy them just to make them stay at the base. So it got a bit rough understanding it, but now we've put more time into it. We've been kind of getting a few tribe members into our base now, which is very nice. But it's your typical survival game. You have an axe, scythe, you're chopping trees down, stone down, you're getting armor, weapons, and as you go, you will get bronze, steel, iron, etc. So if you're familiar with survival games, you're going to understand this pretty quickly. But there is some stuff that got confusing again, like the tribe system. But a few things I wish they would change is there is a lot on the screen. That is very distracting sometimes, especially like the controls. I wish I could disable the controls on the left side of the screen. I haven't looked, you might be able to. I haven't looked at that yet, but if you can, then hell yeah. But I'm not too sure if you can or not. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. And the other thing I'm not a big fan of, there's so many resources in this game that you need so many chests. Like, we've almost covered one side of our base just with chests, and it's not enough. Like, you definitely need to get the upgraded chests. You start off with like a thatch box, and then we're now at wooden boxes, so it is double the storage space. So I think once you progress the game and you get better chests, it will probably be a bit better. But in the early game, we have so many chests because it's just you get so many resources, whether that's you getting it or if you assign your tribe members to gather resources, because you can. The other thing I do like about this game is they do have a lot of like proficiency levels, and with that, once you get to a certain proficiency level, you will unlock some skills with a said proficiency. Like with spears, for instance, you can end up doing more damage, making it cost less stamina to use the spear, and other things like that. I really like. So once you hit like level 30 with a spear, level 60, level 90, and so on, you start getting these passive abilities that you can tie to that specific weapon type. So spear, great sword, bow, what have you. But this game, I think if you're into Conan Exiles or Ark Survival, I think you will really enjoy this game. They do have an online mode. We were just playing the solo slash friends mode, and we were doing the survival classic mode, which they have because I know they have the tribe mode, which kind of skips straight to the DLC. And it's more about the tribe system. Then you have the survival classic mode that we did. And then there was a third mode, but I can't remember the name of it right now. Well, there's a few modes. We did the classic survival mode for it because we never played this until 1.0. So I wanted to kind of get a fresh start because I think going straight to the DLC with that tribe mode would have been a bit rough because we're already still struggling to understand some bits and bobs. But honestly, it's a great game. You can also, with the solo and friends servers and saves, you can change how quickly your like hydration and hunger goes. Like if it goes quick or slow. We have it set to slow while we were learning the game, but the more we play, we'll definitely change it. So we have to focus more on thinking about our hydration and hunger. But I do like that. Also, there is co-op. I did play with only one other person right now. You do have to invite them to your tribe because the tribes are actually part of the clan. You have two tabs, you have clan and you have tribes. And it was confusing because clan and tribe, with how the game was marketed and what we've seen, I thought the tribe was meant for the AI people and the clan was meant for your actual friends, but no, it's actually the other way around. The clan is where your AI are housed, and then the tribe is where you have to invite people. So when you get a friend to join your world, they will have to find you on the map. You won't have an icon or anything until you get them into the tribe. You will have to create a tribe. So you have to create a tribe, name it, and then what you need to do is you need to get your friend to apply to join your tribe, and then you can accept it. And then you'll start seeing the marker on the map. And then if they're not on, for instance, they will still show up on the map. So even if they're not playing the game, they're playing something else, they will still be on the map and they will be kind of resting wherever they ended the game on. So whether it be their base, your base, wherever you left the character. But I really like the progression in this game. You start off with Lin shoes, and then you work your way up to, I can't remember the name of it, but it was one of the animal ones that you get, and then you start working your way up to getting more like bronze. So it's like I said, your typical survival game. But the building, I really like the building minus the roof. The roof was a pain to get sorted out, but that's any other survival game that's out there. Roof building has always been a struggle with survival games, for me at least. So I'm not a big fan of the roof building part, but that's just every survival game. But the building is very similar to things like Windrose, like RuneScape Dragon Wilds, for instance. It's pretty easy to do once you kind of get the hang of it. There is a lot of buttons you have to press though in this game. Like you have to hold E for a lot of things when you're building. You have to press Z to change like what you want it to actually build. If you want to do a triangle to a regular wall or something like that. So you'll get used to it. It's very overwhelming, this game. Very, very overwhelming. But I definitely think if you're on the fence about it, it will take you longer than 2 hours. So I know with how Steam do their refunds, I think it's going to take you longer than 2 hours to kind of get into it before you decide if you like it or not. So again, watch more streams, watch more videos on Soulmask if you're still undecided, because again, very, very overwhelming of a survival game. Rose is definitely a lot more simple than this one. This is more of a complex one. You have loads of materials, you have loads of workbenches you have to do. Like I think in the space of like 4 hours, we made like 5 to 6 workbenches for different things, and it was crazy. The one thing I'm never a fan of in these kind of games is when you're crafting, you have the queue system. So if you want to craft like a campfire, gloves, and like a stone axe, they will be queued up. And I've never been a fan of that system in survival games. So if you're not a fan of the queue system, I'm sorry to say it is a big thing in this game. But when it comes to crafting mass things, you can do a craft O, you can even just do a craft 10, and I believe you can also just keep crafting one thing, which I don't know why you'd want to do that. If you're doing things like getting food or something, you want to do craft all. So there is a way to kind of circumvent the queue. You can only have 3 things queued up at a time. I think it'd be a little bit better if you could have more than 3 things queued up at a time. But I think that's where the tribe system comes into play, because you can actually AFK farm in this game later on once you've got enough tribe members to kind of just do things for you, because your tribe members, you can send them out to gather resources, craft stuff for you. So you can just like do a mass craft and a mass gathering on the tribe members, and then you can just go out and explore and come back to your base, and you have chests filled with things, because you can make it where they will put stuff in the chests for you, which I am a big fan. So you can come back to your base and just your chests are filled with stuff, absolutely filled with stuff, and I do like it. But honestly, I would definitely say I would recommend this game, but it will take you a while to get into it. It will definitely take you a while to get into this game. So if you're someone who wants to try and get into the game in less than 2 hours, because if you're undecided and you want to refund it, then this probably won't be for you, because it might take you longer than 2 hours to really kind of decide if this is going to be for you, the survival game. But there's no PvP. That is a big thing I do want to quickly go over. That there is absolutely no PvP in this game. There's no option for it, at least from what I've seen. And I know we've had a few people in our community who played this a lot longer than me, and they've also said there's been no PvP at all. So if you're not crazy into PvP, don't worry, this game doesn't have it. And even if it does, I am pretty sure you can make it where it's not, because we tried to PvP, me and Swift, when we were both playing a little bit together the other day, and we couldn't attack each other. So I am pretty sure there is no PvP at all, which is a breath of fresh air, because survival games and MMOs that force PvP, that really puts me off the game in the long term. So I'm glad that there's no PvP in this game. Honestly, I do recommend, just based on the early game that we're doing. Again, we've only put about 10 hours, roughly, something like that, into it. So we're not crazy involved with the game, and haven't really dealt into like the deep stuff just yet. But based on our first 10 hours that we played, definitely enjoying it. We'd definitely be playing a lot more of this in the future, because I definitely want to get back to it. But Rose comes out this week, so I don't know when I'll get back to this game, but we definitely will at some point. But thanks to everyone that watched this video. I appreciate it. If you liked the video, again, make sure to like and subscribe, and come by the Twitch streams. We'd love to have you join us during the streams. We're definitely going to be streaming this again at some point in the near future. But again, I'm sorry that this review wasn't the best review in the world. I just wanted to get this out before Windrose. We didn't have enough time to really play the game before Windrose comes out. So I'll definitely probably get a better review out in the future once we put a lot more time into this game. But for now, Definitely recommending it just based on the early game. But again, it will take you longer than 2 hours to kind of understand it before you decide on it, because it is very, very complicated. It's very complicated. There's a lot. There's a lot in the game to kind of understand. But again, I'll see you guys in the next video.